is not funny. Let me turn my phone off.
Oh yeah, please. And that's my airplane mode.
Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Edit all of this out.
Yes, ma'am. I can't. I'm gonna make a real all clumsy stuff that you do.
You better not. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we stop and restart this?
No, just follow. Let's roll. You know what I'm saying? It's all part of the documentary when I'm gonna make.
All right, easy. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Experience Podcast Edition. Tonight, we got a real treat for you. Now, everybody trying to get to the money and trying to talk about where the money reside and outside open and all of this great stuff. But right now, I got something real nice and Hardy for you. I got Chris Hardy here, and whether this is your first buy or your refi, this is the man you need to talk to when it comes to actually being approved. Because y'all know, good agents out here, like my bro, not your average agent, don't even want to walk you through the house unless you got a pre-approval. So the person to go through to get this process, and he a black man too, y'all, nothing popping, okay? It's Chris Hardy in Cleveland. And not only is he in Cleveland, he's in Georgia, he's in Virginia. He got a whole lot of money around here, right? So he gonna break down what we need to do to make sure that you can get your walkthrough and eventually be able to get your keys and have, you know, the right house for yourself, whether you are trying to purchase a home to live in or purchase a home to invest in. This is the guy you need to talk to, and I keep telling y'all the network is expanding.
Absolutely. I'm
gonna put y'all on to a whole lot of game. So this is the man who's gonna give you the keys, like the gems, but also the keys to the house. So make sure you all pay attention, because this is gonna be a good one. Grab your notebooks, because you might need to see why you not getting approved. But get your notebooks, because this is gonna be a good one, y'all.
And per usual, Intro Killer did her thing, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, she did.
Thank you, Intro Killer.
Thank
But
you.
I want to give a chance to give flowers to my man Chris, because when I first started, I literally said to myself, I want to partner with professional black people in the industry or whatever. And Chris, I seen him, I'm like, you know what, I gotta do business with him. So I want to thank you, because when I first started out, you put me on to so many different things I need to do, as not only as an agent, but as a professional in the industry, man. So I want to thank you for that, by the way, man.
I appreciate my brother.
No,
Definitely
man,
appreciate that.
Thank you. So let us know where it all started from the beginning, man. Because like, I know you've been doing your thing for a while, but where did it all begin? I know, and by the way, thank you for your circle, because I know you're a better also.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate that too. Just to give an intro, it started out, I'd say about 2013. All right, around then was like the housing market crash, right?
Right.
So around that time, I was working for a company out in Solon, and all we did was manage foreclosed properties, right? So we were just like, contractors would send these pictures, and then if they needed the grass cuts, they would let us know. We would look at that. We would order. Somebody threw some rocks or stones at houses. We would go ahead and order. Then the contractors would go and board them up. So we basically did property, they call it property preservation for the main banks like Wells Fargo, Chase, and because at that time, they had so much inventory and didn't know what to do with those houses, if y'all remember.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I started out. I started at the end, you know what I'm saying? And I started out seeing what happens when everything goes wrong. So as you know, fast forward a couple more months, I stayed up there for like a year or so. You started to have less and less inventory, so they started laying people off. So I felt like this was a good time for me to actually learn what the beginning looked like. You know what I'm saying? Like I get to see what happens when everything goes wrong, but how does it start? How do you get to a house? How do you get to the process? So I started looking out for jobs, and I found a little bank shop, mortgage lender bank shop, and that's kind of where the story started. You know? Yeah.
Shoot. So I want people to understand what you said with that, because like right now, because we know we're not a recession per se, but as you know, inventory is low right now, right?
Right.
And I think that a lot of agents are getting not scared per se, or getting more. How can I say this? They're getting worried at the fact that less inventory means less out there for us as agents and whatnot. So let me get your perspective on this, because you're on a different spectrum of the housing market and whatnot. You see it from a different angle. What do you see as far as the future for the housing market? Because I know right now everyone's like, you know, is there going to be a recession? Is it going to be where it was like an 08, 09 type of deal?
So I feel like it's like with anything else, you got waves, right? So it's like this. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be up, it's gonna be down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Rates, same thing. They're gonna be up, they're gonna go back down. Historically, we are at some of the lowest rates you will ever see if you look at historically the housing market. But specifically talking about inventory, at some point it will loosen up, obviously, because the rates will drive it up, or it'll start to tap people out of the market. You know what I'm saying? But will it ever be what it was? Hopefully not. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully not, because you got to think about it. There was a lot of people who had houses that lost a lot of value. You know what I'm saying? So it was a tough situation. But yeah, at some point the inventory has to loosen up some, and also I think over time, man, you know, we're all resilient, so we start looking at creative ways to do stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
I've even seen some people, they starting to look at like what they call them shipping containers. You got people doing that stuff. You got people doing all kind of smart stuff with these homes. So eventually, I feel like the game might change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, that might be a while from now. But that's kind of what I feel like eventually. But no, as of for now, I think the housing market is going to be what it is. There's still a lot of demand. You know what I'm saying? And as long as that demand is there, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be what it is.
No, like I said, I like how you said you have to get creative, and I think a lot of agents I like to believe we got a little complacent, you know, like to where you come to me, you want to buy a home, come on to me. Now you have to go out for the business. Now you have to actually be. It's a competition now. You gotta how do you differentiate yourself from this next agent and whatnot. So I think I like it. For me, it's just me. But agents are like they're getting more afraid. Like it's not enough inventory, so how do I make it out here?
Well, I think some people also got to be open to the fact that, all right, you might want to move to another neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? And also, like, us as minorities, once upon a time, we stayed in certain hot spots in Cuyahoga County. But now you really start to see us not just stay in Cuyahoga County, you know what I'm saying? You start to see us out in Lake County, Lorain County, you know what I'm saying? People is now starting to talk about Medina County, you know, obviously Summit Portage has always been there, but now, so you're starting to see minorities actually start to go a little bit further out because, obviously we always had this industry where we had to like be in the city to work. So now you don't have that, you know what I'm saying? So you can work from home. So now it's starting to open people up. You'd be like, all right, well, if I don't have to travel downtown Cleveland, why do I have to stay in Cleveland? You know what I'm saying?
That's good stuff.
You know what I'm saying? So I think for you guys as agents, now you're starting to open the playbook up more. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, all right, I just got South Euclid and a few. You know, you might want to go out to Willoughby, men on the lake. You see what I'm saying? And once upon a time, for us as minorities, that wasn't even an option.
Right. You know, that's a fact. That's a fact. And you know what? Another thing I always respect about you, bro, is I never forget my very first deal. And you tell like how it is, bro. You don't sugarcoat. You told it straight facts. I'll never forget. She had, you know, the whole grandeur delusion. She's like, you know, I want to get this, and he told her like straight up, like, listen, you're not gonna be able to get that because of the X, Y, and Z or whatnot. So I want you to speak upon your style of how you deal with clients, how you handle your business as a professional, and why do you do it? How's your approach different from other people?
So I just believe that you're gonna make the decision, right? I just want to be able to give you the information so that you can make the decision. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
where my bombs at? Like, you know what I'm saying?
They're never coming back.
I'm gonna bring it back,
Trust and believe. They're never coming back. He better do a golf clap.
That's good stuff, right?
Don't worry, in my head I have one.
See, right? Thank you, Chris. Thank you, man. Thank you.
I heard it. But no, that's what it comes down to. It's like, okay, the first thing I want to do is I care about you as a person. So it's like, all right, what do you want? Where do you want to stay? One of some of my most common questions is, where do you want to stay, and what is your budget? Okay, tell me your budget now, because obviously things might change once we get out going. You know what I'm saying? Your eyes get big. You know, you start looking around. They always do. Then it's all of a sudden, maybe I can go up. But in the beginning, you told me you don't want to go past this amount.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did we get all the way over to here? You know? And so, at the beginning, it was like, all right, Chris, I like this, I like that, but I want to stay here. I can't do all that extra stuff because of X, Y, Z.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my income is this, but I like to live, I like to kick it.
Yeah.
I still need some extra money. So I'm there to remind you. Now, maybe at some point you might, all right, Chris, I need to bump it up some because maybe it was unrealistic of where you were at. But I still want to remind you, say, hey, you know what I'm saying? We were talking about this. No, you way over here. Are you sure this is what you want? Or did you get caught up in the hype? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my thing with people, just like, and then sometimes you have people where you have these neighborhoods and they got these grand ideas of 2013 where, yeah, you could get a home maybe in that for that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
but ain't the case no
man,
more.
you missed that boat. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
You missed that boat. So it's just like, and if I remember correctly, it was just more so of that. It was just
right.
I want to stay here, this and I like this and that, and then it's like, but this budget, I mean, I can't. It's not that I'm steering you because we're not allowed to, but it's like, hey, the numbers don't lie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna be waiting a long time, waiting on something to drop like
My
that.
bad, Chris, because she don't know what steering is. You know what I'm saying? So please explain to her what steering is, Chris. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
so
sometimes I use Brandon brain, so no. Okay.
So basically, you're not supposed to tell people where they're supposed to live. You know what I'm saying? That's good or bad, race, creed, gender, whatever. Absolutely. You're not supposed to be able to be like, well, you know, forgive me, some friends saying this, but Lakewood has a nice population of this type of gender.
Yeah.
Maybe you be happier over there. Yeah. You're not supposed to do that. So you gotta but the numbers.
Numbers don't lie.
The numbers.
Tight episode.
You know what I'm
saying? Absolutely. It's setting realistic financial expectation. Because that was going to be my question. A lot of people, like you say, if I start off, you tell me what you like. You've been on Zillow. You've been saying, okay, this is my budget because this is the kind of houses that I like based on my budget. How do you explain to them what a realistic mix of finances looks like when it comes to credit, money down, and all of that to help them? Because you pre-approval, Chris.
Right.
You know, we all know you the man to talk to with the money.
To.
Yeah, you the money man. So how you let them know? That's really not your budget, babe.
So I think the first thing you do is gauge this person's education on home buying, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, well, all right, what do you know? You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you have some people that's very informed. They didn't did their education. They didn't took courses. They didn't study, and you like, well, dang, you know, you might have a job later on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you nice. And then I've been blown back, but then you got some people that like, look, Chris, start me from scratch. I don't know anything. So the first thing you try to do to get to the common ground is like, we can't talk about a mortgage payment till you understand what is a mortgage payment. What does a mortgage payment consist of? All right. So then we talk about that. Then we got to talk about that debt to income ratio because people just talk about money and credit score. Those are easy topics for people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They can get with the money part, how much. They can get with that. They can get with the fact that credit score is either good, bad, or fair. You know what I'm saying? But that debt to income ratio
gets them every single time.
And what is a mortgage payment consists of, that's where I break it back down. You know what I'm saying? I bring them down to that and say, okay, did you know your mortgage payment is not just the money that you're lending? You know, you got a $100,000 house. You're not just paying the interest back on that and that's it. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay the homeowner's insurance. You got to pay mortgage insurance, and you got to pay property taxes. Okay? Property taxes are not created equal. Depending on where you at. You know what I'm saying? So part of that is getting people to that ground level to understand that. Then we can start to pick you up.
Bring cookies down.
Yeah.
Bring cookies down from the shelf.
Yeah. So I mean, that's where you start at. So once they understand, it's like, all right, I just had a person tell me not too long ago, well, homeowners insurance is if you guys default. No, that's mortgage insurance. You know what I'm saying? I thought mortgage insurance was if it's a fire. No, that's homeowners insurance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Just breaking down the basic definitions.
And understanding what those numbers are individually. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna pay roughly $100 to $120 a month on homeowners insurance. That's in that mortgage. You know what I'm saying? When you told me, Chris, everybody says mortgage is cheaper than rent. It is, but you got to understand the components. You know what I'm saying? You're not just paying just that mortgage, because the mortgage might be $500 a month. But let's add on the property taxes. You know, let's do that. And let's be fair, nowadays, because the property tax is going up, you're not going to escape that with renting.
Right.
Because these landlords is gonna pass that on
to you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so you're not escaping that. whether you think you are or not, eventually it's gonna catch up because once they start looking at them taxes, like, ooh, man, these taxes went up a couple money.
Next year. Yeah.
We gotta go up. So yeah, it's just really, you gotta break people down and understand do you understand what a mortgage is?
Right.
Now we can talk.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we can start talking about. It's like, well, Christmas, since you put it that way, okay, I was thinking 9, maybe I can go to 12.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Great. Now let's talk about the areas for 1,200.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, I'm not going to overstep my boundaries because my man Brandon got to do his job. But at least let me get you to a place where you understand, realistically, you're not going to be in Southview for $800 a month.
Not at all.
You're not. Because the taxes might be 4. Then what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, once we get there, and like I said, sometimes I'm direct about that part.
I like
but
that because it seems like you're good at breaking the process down without breaking the person down.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, I need to tell you the real. I need to tell you the honest. I need to let you know exactly, so don't bust you over your head later. I'd rather bust you now so you could get up and work with it later. And I've heard such good things about the way you conduct business, which I think is huge, especially for our culture, but for our city in general, the fact that we have so many resources, and I've heard a lot about you from agents, as almost like a partner on the team. Like, we got to get through this together to make sure this one person, handles their business. So how has it been working with agents? Like, what is your process for that?
So the first thing is, if you ever noticed, obviously people talk about it. You got to bring value to people, right? You got to bring value to people, and that means the consumer, and that also means my business affiliate. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, that's one of my affirmations for today. Was today got to bring value. You know what I'm saying? So part of that is, even if it don't work for me, let's get this brother this money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's not drop the ball on his money. And that means maybe if I know, hey, we just got a particular rule at Union Home Mortgage that just don't work. But I'm going to be honest with you, such and such over there, they ain't got that rule. Get your money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you did, by the way.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
And I will, because that's part of the value. It's like, all right, we gonna do business. I ain't tripping on that. Part of that is establishing that you want people to have your name good. You know what I'm saying? And you want consumers, because I've had consumers be like, Chris, you were awesome. We couldn't work it out with you, but I'm still, instead of referring to the person that they work with, we gonna double back and get you some business.
Yeah.
But it's just about that foundation of bringing value to people, and start there. And then once you start there, then we can talk about other stuff. But first, especially with a young agent, let's get you some money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get you. And also, while I'm bringing value, I'm not gonna waste nobody's time because mine.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if he knows, if I say, hey, they good, he ain't gotta think about it.
Right.
He know all I gotta do is find it in my house.
Yeah.
And if I stay, because I tell people, look, I need this much in closing costs. Don't go over this. Watch the taxes at this. So I'm giving you parameters that say, hey, sometimes we have to bend them because the consumers just, they're stubborn. But if you stay within this, you can sleep at night, because once you find a house for them in this, you gonna close. It's done. You ain't gotta come back. I did my research. You know what I'm saying? I did my due diligence. And sometimes consumers get mad because they're like, well, Chris asked for this person ain't asked for this. Well, you gonna find out. They gonna find out later, and then that's down the line. You done wasted everybody's time. I'm not gonna waste your time. So you gonna know. Part of my value is you gonna know if I say they good, keep it near. They good.
Word. The man stand on his word, y'all. And Chris, he gonna give you his word one way or the other. And if you do need to fix, you're good at letting them know what the problem is too, right?
Absolutely. So, and that's because B knows, he knows part of that too. But, we a tag team. So it's like, if I look at some stuff, I'd be like, all right. I mean, honestly, man, with credit, for the most part, for most people, you would just look, all you gotta do is look at the credit, look at a credit card, and you say, high balance is 1,000, your balance is at 950. drop that. Credit goes up.
Credit goes up. That's an easy fix.
That's an easy fix. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can get into collections and all that kind of stuff when you trying to max, but really, most people, you just look down the line and say, all right, you got 4 or 5 credit cards, and they all at about 90% usage. Drop that.
Right.
Drop them down. We all right. Pay them off? No, don't even gotta pay them off.
Right.
Pay them down. Don't pay them off. And a lot of times, man, that's the quickest fix. People look at medical. Don't even worry about those.
Right. Medical ain't gonna
Unless it's a new one and you just want the points. Because don't get me wrong, any collection, if it's brand new collection, if you address a brand new collection, you're gonna get points for it. But as far as housing, you don't need to mess with them medical collections. And if you got some old collection that's charged off, don't touch that. Let's focus on that credit card balance. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, for the most part, after doing it for so long, that 60-70% of the time, that's all it is.
I'm about to say that's gonna segue into my next question. So what are some do's and don'ts that it's, let's say, for Kitty, because I know Kitty don't know.
Y'all know.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Kitty kind of slow, but
I'm gonna be rewatching though, and I'm gonna take notes with y'all. So I hope y'all got y'all pencil sharpened.
Exactly. So what are some? If let's say I want to become a homeowner in the next 9 days, what are some do's and don'ts that they should be doing from here in the next 90 to 30 days?
The biggest one, and we all heard it before, is don't open no new credit. Decide this is what you want.
Ooh.
Okay.
Where's my bombs at, man? That's good, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I think people don't take the time out to think about the mindset that goes into being a homeowner. It's not just I want to own a home. Oh, that's cute. That's cool. But you understand what come along with that. You know what I'm saying? You're not renting anymore. You own that now. Or you own that in a sense. But nonetheless, though, like you're a homeowner. I mean, you gotta take care of that grass. You gotta make sure that you pay your payments on time. Because like you said, like that PMI is no joke. It's the reason why they have it on there. You know what I'm saying? But I think, like you said, make sure this is what you want to do. Mindset is real.
And we always talk about, you will hear motivational talk about what's your why. You know what I'm saying? Understand your why. Understand what you're trying to do here. You know what I'm saying? And then let's go from there.
Right.
Because it was like, oh, I just looked. Sometimes you see people and they're like, oh, I just looked at my credit score and I'm up there. Time to start using it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, that's not why you buy a house.
Right.
That's not why you buy a house.
Right.
Decide what are you doing this for. Now, if you say, hey, I'm expecting another child. This house we've been in here. Landlord been tripping. He don't want to fix nothing. We out living this thing anyway. All right, you got a why.
Right.
So now if I tell you what you need to do, you're going to be disciplined enough to do it because you understand your why of what you're doing and why you're doing it. And it's not just because you just think you want to flex your credit. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that's the first thing because then you're receptive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Another big one is your why. The second one is obviously just don't open no credit. Get the car. The car is the easiest thing to get for anybody. You know?
That's good.
Leave the car alone. The car gonna come. The car can stop you from the house, but getting the house ain't gonna stop you from the car. And I'll tell people that again, the car will stop you from getting the house. But if you get the house first, that's not gonna stop you from getting the car.
Ooh. Man, I got phantom finger. I can't do it enough. I mean, oh my goodness. I've heard so many horror stories of people saying they were about to close and right before it, someone brought a car and it just blew the whole deal.
Blew it up. Because here's the thing, I didn't heard people like, well, Chris, I'm thinking about refining, the payment gonna go down. I'm gonna talk to him. I said, man, 9 times out of 10, you go to that dealership, your payment going up. You think you going in there to, because you want to refi and maybe get something newer, but it's gonna be lower payment. They gonna talk you up. They gonna talk you up. So it's like don't play that game. Don't play that game with yourself because once that payment go up, we done messed the numbers up. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, you can't stress that enough as far as the car is concerned. So understand your why. Do not mess with the car. Obviously, it goes without saying, but I've seen it happen. Don't change no job, man. Don't do no career changes. Right in the middle of a loan or a home or thinking about getting a home, that's not the time. Right. You'll see people and they're like, well, I got this opportunity. I'm about to go on business for myself. Well, you just started the clock over.
Right. Ooh.
That let's get this house. If I'd have known that 2 months ago, I'd have just held out. Let's hold out for just because again, once it's over with, you can do what you do. If you know you can pay that, fine. But right now, while you got this stability,
Ooh.
let's work with the stability. So as soon as people get to change and they're going self-employed, it's a wrap.
Start the hell pocket.
Another big do's and don'ts. Do not, if you're self-employed, do not file losses. Of course, you want to break even, but unfortunately, you're going to have to pay a little taxes. But if you want the house and if you want what your money can handle, which a lot of times happens, don't go in. You're going to pay taxes.
Now he can have a bomb drop.
Oh,
Y'all be killing me on that.
Thank
you just told me you don't make no money. Why would I lend you some money? You just said you was broke. You wanted that you wanted a little $3,000 income tax. Now look at you.
No, you mad because now
you got $3,000.
I gotta hold you to that. You say, hey, I made 100, but I only made really 40 because of X, Y, and Z.
Right.
But that's fine. Now I gotta qualify you all 40,000. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, but what about this and that? And also on the side note, COVID kind of messed people up too. So people are like, well, what about COVID? At this point now, since we're getting away from it, that COVID will hold you back. Go ahead and file 2021 tax returns. Don't let 2020 be the last one that you filed, because I already know what they look like. Whenever somebody say I ain't filed 21 yet, we can use 20 during COVID. I know what that look like.
You already know it's all
Don't mess with that. Go ahead and file taxes. But so those are the big ones. You know your why. Don't change jobs. File that income if you have to, if you're self-employed, and do not buy a car.
Do not buy a car.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all heard it, right?
That was good.
Now, listen, that's why
Sincerely.
He said his daily affirmation for today was to provide value. So can we go into more on the personal side? Because people love the person, just must be
right. Because outside, I know for a fact you are who you are outside of business and in your personal life. So tell people, like you said, tell people about yourself.
Well, I would say at this point, I'm definitely a family man. I have 4 kids at home, and I also have custody of my son. So that's my 5th. He's my oldest boy. Kids take up a lot of your time, man.
That's a fact.
I love to travel. Don't get me wrong, if I can. You can't do as much as you want to, but it's long. I'll take that back because I travel a lot. But I can't do a week, 2 weeks. Can't do that. I usually do long weekends, and then I'm back to the grind. But as a person, I love sports. Basketball, football is mine. Big local Cleveland sports fan. And really, like I said, I still got my love for God, and I chill now. I think everybody did their wild and crazy thing at some point. You got to get it out your system,
right.
And you can still have wild moments sometimes, but
sometimes.
I just turned 40, so now at this point I'm grinding.
Congratulations.
I'm grinding. I'm focused on this business. I'm focused on getting people homes, and I'm focused on the next couple chapters and really pulling people up. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at now.
Now, to segue to the next thing I'm gonna ask you. So what's next up for you, man? Because I know you're doing your thing right now, but where you see yourself in the next 5 years? What's next up for you, man?
Continue to add to my real estate portfolio. I have a sister that's in Florida. She wants to start to real estate invest. She's also got a real estate license. So it's going to be some expansion. She wants to get into Airbnb. So we're starting to look now. So in the next 5 years, definitely open up that real estate portfolio. I do see myself doing some coaching at some point. I have to coach my son.
I'm about to say, they so like coaching other individuals.
That's gonna come too.
Okay, I'm about to say exclusive right there.
Exclusive right here for y'all.
I'm about to say, listen, y'all looking to get into the game. This is a man to talk to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, as far as mentorship, man, that's something near and dear to my heart.
That's good.
If anybody ever has questions about that, I got time for you. Like I said, I just believe in that much, and I believe in the kids. Like I said, I got my little son. He's 6, and he's got like little cousins. They was all like born around the same time, so they all little crazy little kids. But I would love to take them, coach them. So you got to do something for the youth. And then, like I said, I love mentoring people in our industry. I love talking to entrepreneurs, and just really, like I said, this is where we at now. You get to a point where you just want to help. You know what I'm saying? And you just want to thrive in that. So that's kind of where I'm at. Continue to take trips, of course, and try crazy things. I like to try little crazy things. I still haven't skydived yet, so that's on the list.
Okay. Hey, listen.
That's the experience. We'll catch you on camera crying.
She always
yes.
So we got a dating game coming in October. You gonna be a part of that, Chris, man? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes, sweetest day.
Well, no, I have a fiance, so.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
But you know what? You know, I'm talking about telling her to come on down to this networking.
Oh yeah, please do. Please do, man.
We get done.
Bring the missus.
We might go to the date day. Like I said, we like to have some fun, man. We might be in there.
It was a good time.
If nothing else, still come. That's a great bring your boo type of date. Something different before dinner and a movie and all that.
It's something different in the city.
Dude, that's dope, man. I love, like I said, it's really about now just stepping outside the box and really giving a variety of stuff to do.
Listen, and that's we trying to do with the pull up.
Like I mean, with all of us and our network, just having all of us as community pillars and resources, not just for our generation, but for this next one coming up, and for us to do all the mentorship and growing together. I can't wait for everybody.
I mean, you guys talk to some dope people. Like, I'm just honored because of the people that came before me, and I just wanted to say that because I've been watching, like, man, y'all got bangers. You know what I'm saying?
That's some good people, and shout out to y'all because y'all are open to coming to help us elevate. Like the pull up, yeah, we come see you, but we come and pulling each other up. We're gonna grow together, and y'all. Here we grow again. You know, y'all just come and do y'all thing. Y'all provide value.
Absolutely.
You know, y'all understand the assignment every single time. So thank you personally. Thank all of y'all who have been there, and thank all of y'all who are actually booked up because we are done through the end of summer.
Yeah, that's so great. And
already?
Listen, Chris, man, listen. I appreciate it because once again, I think our main thing we're going to do is make sure we provide value for our audience, and that's what you did tonight. A lot of our audience are entrepreneurs, and I'm pretty sure they all want to know, well, shoot, I want to own a home, how I go about doing that. And boom, we got the man of the hour, we got you on and whatnot, and we appreciate you, man.
And you got to use that. I feel like this. Real estate is it's just like your stocks and bonds, your life insurance. Ooh. You got to diversify that portfolio. And I mean, even if you don't want to be a hardcore real estate person, you definitely want to keep that as at least a little something. You know, I definitely agree that maybe at least one or two, you know, just a hold or whatever. But it's just, like I said, it's just about diversifying that portfolio and having just a little income because you never know, you know, and as these prices and inflation and stuff like that, I mean, people in other places, like in other states, people don't understand Cleveland. I mean, you got people from the West Coast, East Coast.
Oh, man.
They invest in this town a lot because they're like, man, you can't, it's cheap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll never forget, I was watching the podcast, I think it was Earning Leisure, and it was a big business. He was talking about how he felt like he stepped in the time machine when he came around here. He was looking at the prices, like, how is it that you're able to afford a house? You know what I'm saying, for this price, you know what I'm saying, because you go to the East Coast, it's unheard of. You know what I'm saying, West Coast, same thing and whatnot. And I can't tell you people, I get on my DM from the West Coast, like, hey, I'm trying to invest in Cleveland, what you got for me or whatnot. And it's so crazy, because like you said, people see the value, and it's so crazy, don't allow people outside of our city to see the value you guys don't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And even if you're personal residence, or just, let's talk about house hacking, Chris, man, because I get this all the time, bro. I get it all the time. And everyone calls something different, house hack, whatever you want to call it, but the concept is still the same. You buy a two-family, and then you live in one unit, and someone pays up the rest. Whatnot. You build up equity, and you build up appreciation all at the same time, all while living rent-free. So let me ask you this, because I had a scenario with this kid. This kid had to be like, maybe all 18. He was graduating high school, but he had been working at McDonald's for 2 years. And I was saying to him, like, that's a possibility, something we can do and whatnot. Break that down as to how. And once again, this is some of our communities and other people, like there are ways to own real estate. We just gotta get creative with it. So tell us some creative financing that people can do as far as like to own real estate.
Oh, let's just start with that one. See, all right, just say this. You've been working for 2 years. Maybe your per hour is not that big, right? But realistically, first of all, most of the two families in Cuyahoga County are pretty much affordable.
Absolutely.
They're either cheaper than a single family or right on par with what's going on out here. So definitely, just first of all, just know that. Second of all, because you going into it, a lot of times you can use that rental income, okay? to help you qualify for the house, whereas when you're going for the single family, you can't. You know what I'm saying? So they might not be able to qualify for the house because, you know, maybe they make something or just a little, their debt to income ratio just a little too low. But that's why you can get a 2-family, or I've seen a young brother not too long, it was like a year ago. He caught a 4-unit and he cleaned up, man. I was like, dude, you ahead of the game, man. You know, he was a young dude. I was like, and so the idea behind it is, okay, you got this income, you can afford that. Let that person, because people say it all the time, but it's true. That rent of that other person literally can pay the mortgage. Okay, so instead of you staying at your parents' house or your significant others, you can start to establish yourself. And here's a good thing: if you live there, right? If it's good enough for you to live there, you get to know the bones of that house. You know how it feels in the wintertime. You know how it is in the summertime. You know the sounds of that house. So you're in tune with that house. So when you go to get the rent in it, you understand what the tenant is going through because you've been there in that house. And that's something that you shouldn't overlook. You know what I'm saying? And it's good to actually know that and know about that house, especially for your first investment. You know what I'm saying? And again, you don't have to stay there forever, especially if you're a young person. And we're not gonna just say guys, because there's a lot of females. Trust and believe.
Shout out to you ladies.
Trust and believe. Ladies is out here investing for the first. I had one last year. She caught a 4-suiter too.
Man, where are 4-suiters at, man?
I'm tell you, these young people are snatching them up. So, there's nothing wrong with starting out that way. And again, the end game with anything is just like a job. It's like, okay, I'm here for a season. Right. Make the best of it. But if I grind and put my head down, this is gonna lead to better things.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So,
no, listen.
I encourage it while there's still units out here. Yeah.
Because you can mess up and still rebuild again. And like I said, a young man, I said, just like how Christian said it, you can mess around, be working McDonald's for 2 years and qualify for, you can live your whole entire college years rent free. And imagine you rent out the place, they thinking that you're a renter, you the landlord. Right? And at the same time, you build equity that you can use later on down the road and appreciation. So, like you said, at the end of 4 years, you want to go somewhere else, you want to go to another state. Now you have that house that you have to sell now. So.
And I tell people another cool thing that I think is starting to become more like popular as far as this property management. So again, let's just say, so you guys get a background of it. Property management, for the most part, you can get somebody to come in and basically manage that property. They can vet it, they can find a tenant, they can get them in there, they can take the calls on service calls, and really, all you gotta do is they'll make sure that you just get the check. And literally, like Brennan said, you could be the actual owner, but since they're going through a property management, they think you rent just like they is. So you don't have to worry about them bothering you with every single thing, because all they know is it's a property management. Now, of course, they take they some. Nobody does that for free, but I think property management now takes a little bit of the anxiety away from first time landlords and stuff like that, because again, you can learn the ropes. You can learn, say, hey, they're gonna pull credit, they're gonna kind of find them, they already know what to look for, they already know that kind of stuff, and it kind of takes the sting away from you as you're learning how to do that, and you gain confidence in owning that property.
You know, that's good stuff, man. Like, and I didn't even think about that. That's good stuff right there. I'll be taking notes because that's good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people, like as Chris as a loan officer, I'm the same thing as an agent. I try to give you all the options possible for you to think and make a decision your own. And like the first thing people say, they're like, "Oh man, I would love to be a landlord, but I just want to deal with tenants." Well, there you go. Property management, like you said, now you have to deal with it all. And once again, you're building up your portfolio, because the first thing what banks look to leverage for asset is real estate. You know, so don't minimize what it can do, because I know one of my biggest things when I talk to people, like this your house, this home, or this rental property is going to be one of the biggest investments you're gonna have in your life. So don't minimize that.
No doubt.
So okay, all right, because I know we can go all night because I'm talking about real estate because I love it, by the way. What are some other creative, not say creative finance, because I think entrepreneurs, they think that they have a 9-to-5, they won't qualify for a lot of loans. And what are some of the loans that people don't know about they can take advantage of, or programs to take advantage of to become homeowners?
So you got just running it down. So let's just say, creative financing would be a renovation loan, right? So you find a home, needs a little work, you ain't got the money, and so that we can actually get you that house, you can buy that house, get a contractor in there, give you the offer, and then what happens is you don't need any money. You will qualify, the house will close, and then us as a lender, along with like a third party liaison, will oversee the job, make sure it gets done, and then pay that contractor once it's finished. That way you don't have the out of pocket expenses. Let's say you love the house, everything is right about the house, but it needs a $20,000 roof. You're not ready for that, but you can get a renovation loan which can help with that. So that's a creative way to do things. Obviously, not in my realm, but you also have you got people that already, if you already own properties, then maybe take out a home equity loan on another property, use that equity to get the next one. You also have hard money lenders, which are short-term options where maybe you have up to 12 months. People got to understand, but hard money is private funding. It's not government. Right. They don't follow our rules. So they basically decide yay or nay because it's their money. You know what I'm saying? So once you kind of get in good with them, obviously if you're a flipper, more so on the flipper side, that's not really a hold. You don't use hard money for holding. You use it for flipping. But of course that's creative financing.
You gotta do it for kids. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Show the difference between the flipper.
You know value.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Show the difference between flipper, buy and hold, because you know what I'm saying. I like to think that our audience might not know what those terms are.
No problem. So obviously if you hold, that means you're thinking long term, or at least longer term, where you're gonna buy that home, you're gonna put some tenants in there, and you're gonna sit and collect rent. Okay, that's what you mean by holding. Flipping is obviously what you see. Everybody knows from HGTV. You get a house, you got your hammer, and you trying to gut it out, and then make some money off that. So that's what you would consider a flipper. Sometimes you can flip. I mean, I know some people, man, and we talk about creative. I know some people who would catch. You got wholesalers. That's another one where they find buyers. They find people that maybe want to sell or don't even know they want to sell. You know what I'm saying? Or they take advantage of opportunities where they take that property, seize it, and basically control either the flip or whatever from that point on. But it's creative financing. You know what I'm saying? So there's plenty of ways to kind of get into real estate. You got to decide which one. Obviously, people are starting to get Airbnb. That's a big one now.
Shout out to Donnie and Q, by the way, y'all.
Yes.
Shout out to y'all brothers.
So, I mean, again, there's so many avenues now, and now it's starting to be more creative. You know what I'm saying?
Are they able to come to you? You know how they have, like, the FHA loans, where the ones that you don't always have to put the 20% down, you put, like, 3.5 down and stuff like that. Are they able to work through you to sign up for those type of programs and stuff?
Absolutely. So, FHA, people think that sometimes you got to be a first-time home buyer to get FHA. That is not true. You just don't. The only thing you need is to not have another FHA loan. Now, technically, you can have another FHA loan. You just have to be the non-occupying. So it's got to not be your property. You just co-sign on your friend. But if you have it as an investment, whatever that, you can't use it. However, first-time home buyer, you do not have to be for an FHA loan. Now, there are products out here that you do need to be a first-time home buyer. And just so we can be clear, to define her first-time home buyer is just somebody who hasn't owned a home in 3 years. That's it.
In 3 years?
So
years. That was something new. I didn't know that. I thought it was period.
Yeah, a lot of people think that, but honestly, you can have this home, you be like, all right, I fell on hard times, maybe you had a bankruptcy, you sold that home, you wait 4-5 years down the road, you say, I'm ready to get back out there, you are a first-time home buyer now.
Yeah. And I heard that let's say for instance, if I decide to sell my home and I say to the bank, hey, listen, I sold my home, but this house is a lot better, it's a better situation, better neighborhood or whatnot, I can also make me a first time homeowner again in their eyes.
So OFA actually has a product and it's not really advertised, it's called Next Home. Okay. And you are allowed to kind of essentially leave a home and go right to the next one. Now you don't get the whole 5% that you would for the first time, but you get 2.5%.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's called Next Home. So you got that. Cuyahoga County down payment assistance. You don't have to be a first-time home buyer for that either. You just have to take the home ownership course. So there are ways out here to get assistance and not be a first-time home buyer.
Right.
But obviously, that's the more common one. That's the one you advertise because obviously that's where the pool of people come in. That's where the consumers.
Yeah.
However, you don't necessarily need to connect the tie the two between first-time home buyer and down payment assistance. Now, and I spoke about this on my Instagram. Conventional does have a product where you can put 3% down. You do have to be a first-time home buyer for that one.
So help the audience know. So if I come to you, so let's say for instance, in a transaction, I'm a seller and I see first-time homeowner versus conventional. What's the difference between the two? What am I looking at? What is? I know some people like to think that first-time homeowner zone is a bad product versus a conventional loan, which is a better product for the seller and whatnot. So, in your not in your opinion, but what do you recommend for people to typically start out with when they're trying to get a home?
So what happens is people usually see, because they're not going to see, it doesn't necessarily say first-time home buyer, but there's clues in it that the listing agent will pick up. Like if they see the OFA, because you got to put that on the financing that is OFA, and then they understand that that's first-time home buyers. You know what I'm saying? But or a lot of times people just assume because they see FHA, right? So they always say, all right, that's a first-time home buyer. The difference between the two mainly is, there's so many creative things that you can do with FHA that you can't do with conventional and vice versa. So I want to dispel the stigma that FHA is bad because it's not. It's just that if you know, and a lot of times if that house got a lot going on, and maybe it's just a lot of little knick-knack stuff that doesn't really mean a lot, but it's still a lot going on. That's not the FHA. They don't really like all that. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, for instance, right now we just talking and then I just like did this and I punched a hole in the wall. FHA is not going to like that. Conventional is like, man, that ain't nothing.
Right.
Sell them the house. You know what I'm saying? FHA is going to be like, no, you got to fix that. So because of things like that, sometimes sellers and listing agents, especially listing agents, sometimes they be like, all right, we don't want to deal with that. Let's just go cash or conventional. That way we can just avoid all the extra stuff that we might have to fix. You know what I'm saying? And so that's really where it comes from, where people be like, all right, well, we just can't go FHA. Sometimes on small homes, you're going to see a lot of those issues or POS violations. They're not always connected, but if you see a lot of violations, sometimes that stuff will translate FHA versus conventional. We're not going to worry about that. And that's where the issue comes from. But honestly, man, FHA is still better in a lot of ways. Like, for instance, if you want to max out and say, okay, Chris, I got the money, I got a lot of debts and stuff going on, but I want as much as I can get approved for, you will get approved for more FHA than conventional, hands down.
And I appreciate
by
you
thousands.
By the
thousands.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now listen, because I hear all the time, and I'm like, man, I'm glad you said, because I wanted to dispel that myth. I think a lot of people. I have clients like, no, I want to do FHA, I want to do conventional. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's weigh the option. Let's actually, like you said, let's find out why this would be a better product for you versus this one or whatnot. So thank you for that.
No problem.
And it all come down to condition of the home, not the person. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much the main thing. And like for instance, you have a 750 credit score, right? But you filed bankruptcy 2 years ago. You can't go conventional. Don't matter what your score is, you can't go. Because you need conventional, you need 4 years for that chapter 7. FHA gets you back out there too. So, you know what I'm saying? If you like, hey, I'm ready to get back on the saddle. Well, you just gotta go FHA, and those are the times where a LO like myself, or we'll work with the agent. I'm like, man, give me a call. If the listing agent know me, like, Chris, what's up with this? Is this a solid FHA deal? And I'll be like, man, really, they credit is immaculate. They just gotta take advantage, because you don't want to. They gotta take advantage of an FHA rule, but really, this person is conventional buyer. You know what I'm saying? And so, again, we just want to dispel that rumor that just because they're going to FHA don't mean they're a 580 credit score and all that kind of stuff. There's other things and perks that FHA has that you take advantage of, and it has nothing to do with them having bad credit.
That's good. Because I'm going to say it is a stigma or whatnot.
Yeah. It is, like, that's the lower.
Right.
I didn't know it was the property and not the person.
Like, that's a ghetto, you know what I'm
saying? That's almost how it seemed. Like, this is the what you can get. Like, just know them something.
And sometimes that is, but then, like I said, there's reasons why you like, all right, we just got to exercise FHA. It's going to get us through a lot better. You know what I'm saying? I talked about the renovation loan. With a renovation loan, you can get more renovations done with FHA than you can conventional. You know what I'm saying? And so there's like I said, there's things that you can take advantage of. Another big one is conventional. They give you up to 3%. So if you guys didn't know, sellers can help you with closing costs, right? Conventional caps that at 3%. So easy math, $100,000 house, $3,000 is all they can give you, right? FHA, they can give you $6,000 because you can go to 6%. You know what I'm saying? So again, sometimes with a person like me, that's why we dive in. You know what I'm saying? That's why we talk about, all right, what do you want? How much money you got? What's your credit score? What's your dreams, aspirations? What we working with? And from that's why you get chose this route or this route. It's based off your circumstances.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So question. All right. Let's say someone's watching this right now. Say, I want to be like Chris. I want to be a loan officer. What are the steps they need to do to necessarily get to where, not saying where you are, but to become a loan officer?
Well, some people think you, honestly, just quick one. I went to Cleveland State. My major was finance. I was a senior. I didn't even make it. I got my license as a loan officer. I'm still in finance. Okay, You do not need a degree, but I'm not gonna say it doesn't help because there's math and there's everyday math that's a part of it. The main thing is you gotta have a hunger, okay, and then decide your track, right? So you got guys that's like, okay, I don't know how to generate business, so they go to this place because they're a household name, and all they gotta do is go in there, sit down, and that phone gonna ring. Okay. So we talk about the big business. Obviously, you guys know who that is. So if you want to be in that track, which is nothing wrong with that, you can make a lot of money. You can be good at that too. Or you gotta decide if you're gonna get it out of the mud, like some of your real estate agents, and really get out here and meet people and start to connect with people. Or some people are like, I'm a fantastic marketer person. I can figure it out and market and bring in people. So you just decide what kind of person you are, and then you kind of go from there. But the one thing you just definitely need is you need to be able to grind, roll your sleeves up, and get to it, and understand that learn your craft. That's one of the old school things I would say. Maybe people know it, and then maybe sometimes they.
You can drop the bomb on that one.
Learn your craft. Man. Read it. Study those guidelines, get to know that stuff, ask questions, take notes, all that stuff, because you playing with people's livelihood, you know? You playing with people's livelihood. It's some people that I've been under the gun. It's like, Chris, I got movers, it's the holidays, and I'm gonna die, we gotta get kicked out, we ain't got nowhere to go. So, when you start hearing stuff like that, this is serious, you know what I'm saying? So you got to know your craft, and you don't want to waste people's time. So,
listen, that's good stuff right there. That transfer not only just in real estate or finance, guys, overall.
Business period, life period.
Learn your craft, man. You guys are. She one take over here. I already know. She done practice in the mirror plenty of times.
Like, ain't ball, I see keep doing that.
I'm serious, but you can pick up on that. You see people say, no, you work on your craft.
Good stuff. She get her flowers another day. All right. So, Chris, all right, because we went over so much tonight, bro. What are 3 things you want somebody to watch an interview and say, okay, these are 3 key points that I want them to take away? What are those things you want to take away from the interview?
Number 1, home buying is for everybody. 2, I would say, take care of your credit. And 3, tune into the podcast and Pull Up Experience. You gonna learn something, because I didn't lost some jewels. I didn't learn something from the other guests. Tune in. That's my third one.
Hey, I appreciate that, bro. We
Especially this episode.
No,
he broke it all the way down. If you were even thinking, I'm not ready, or I gotta sit out, nope. He break it all the way down for you, and he goes with your individual situation.
Absolutely.
So, speaking of that, because I know y'all want to hit him up. I know. This is pre-approved with Chris, but just so we get it on wax, how can the people get in touch with you, Chris?
Obviously, pre-approved with Chris at Instagram, all one word. Christopher I. Hardy is my full name. If you look that up on Facebook, you will find me. And honestly, at this point, stick with that pre-approved Chris. It will come up on Google and everything else.
Okay, all right. That's all.
Hit me up. DM, all that stuff. And honestly, one thing I pride myself on is being available for conversation. And so if you guys hit up text, I get back to people and I give you answers. And
you absolutely do. You really like you, bro. I appreciate it because you be. I'm like, dang, he right back. I'm like, okay,
that boy good.
That boy good. That boy real good.
You know, you gotta hold your head on a few things, and that's one of the things. So if you guys hit me up, you definitely gonna get in touch. I will. Like I said, if I'm busy, but I still at least make contact. So
that's fine. That's fine. And by the way, we'll have all the show notes, guys. It'll be in the show notes. So hit him up, guys. Get approved today. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. We got what David Shannon always say, you know, so we gotta pay some bills first.
Some bills.
Gotta pay some bills. Hey guys, listen, this Sunday, sorry, y'all sold out. What can we say?
I told you.
We told you. You should have signed when you had the chance.
Yes.
Gotta wait till next time. What did Fat Joe say? It's a price at tomorrow's price. Right. They got rid of the
COVID. He paraphrasing y'all, because I ain't what Fat Joe said.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? The COVID restriction is lifted, and y'all showed out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all showed out, and we had to up it every single time, and every time we upped it, y'all kept signing up. But now it's over with. Stop.
Yeah, she cut us off. She said, please don't invite no more people. Y'all gotta wait till these sign-ups.
Exactly. So once again, guys, this Sunday we'll be at the 4 Bistro from 1 to 4 o'clock. 4 minutes. 4 minutes, guys, for you to talk to someone.
And we start on time.
Exactly. Now, no CP time this time.
No CPT.
Y'all know how I like to come at 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock.
Yes.
We'll see y'all there. And once again, introvert, extrovert, we don't care. Alien, come on through. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Steve.
Right. We gonna try to get Chris to come through, y'all. So if y'all really want to sit down and have this talk, y'all got 4 minutes like a want to figure it out, and that's it.
We'll see you guys there. And once again, we want to thank you guys for every week y'all come out.
Thank you so much.
And view it, and we thank y'all. We can't thank y'all enough. We are, and can I say it? We doing it. We the best podcast in the city. You know what I'm saying?
We get free approval.
Right.
It's going down. I'm telling y'all, we ain't playing with y'all no more.
Listen, we got some bangers lined up, guys. You know what I'm saying? So once again, keep tuning in. We thank y'all. We can't thank y'all enough. Without y'all, we can't do this.
Absolutely not.
So thank you guys. And episode 35.
Episode 35 is a wrap, y'all.
Hey, listen, no one will tell you nothing else. Consistency is the key, y'all.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? So if you just start your podcast, do it. Just stay consistent with it. You know what I'm saying?
Because we had 4 months, 3,000 subscribers. Over 3,000
subscribers. Yeah, over 3,000 subscribers. So God is good. You know what I'm saying? And this boy good. You know what I'm saying? She all right. You know what I'm saying? And Beyonce, you know what I'm saying?
Beyonce, she ain't here with us. Shout out to the 2 you wine, because you want to talk good. This wine. Yeah, this wine. We understand why Jesus turned water into wine. It must have been 2 you, y'all. Make sure y'all hit our girl Nakia up. Yes. She will be at any vendor event that you're having. But y'all can actually come and pull up on her. 4425 Mayfield Road, 2 U Wines. That is South Euclid, Ohio. Make sure y'all come to see her. Make sure y'all let her know to pull up sent you. Even though she is already pull up, she'll know. Just tell her you came to pull up on her. And make sure y'all taste it. I like the Cabernet. It's the best. So if y'all can stay away from those bottles. But help yourself to the sangria. She got wine slushies. She got wine accessories. She even do tastings if you want to bring your fiance out and do something different. Because, you know, we all tired of dinner and a movie. But yeah, it's a whole vibe over here. Absolutely. We do appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Please continue to support not only us, but our guests. Yes, absolutely. And we also want to say this episode is sponsored by Social Master. Yes, thank you, Social Master. Y'all know how we are. Every time we pull our wallets out, y'all can just, the phone scan it for y'all. Y'all don't even have to actually put it up to the QR code. The phone will scan it just as long as we get close. That's shout out to Social Master. Thank you guys. We will actually be putting our link in the description below where you guys can go and order yours today if y'all want to be a magician, because, you know, some people hand out business cards. That's cute, like the paper cards, you know, people put them in the back of their pocket or in their purse. They have every intention of hitting y'all up. If they don't, charge it to the paper cards. You know what I'm saying? But if you want somebody to really hit you up, make sure they scan that Social Master card. You don't even gotta be. They get this close, your phone do it for you. Once they go look up something else, they try to Google it. They're gonna open a new tab because they're gonna be like, oh, I knew I was supposed to do something. I gotta hit up pre-approval Chris. Matter of fact, I'm gonna open up a new tab, do whatever I was gonna do, play Wordle for the day or whatever. And then I'm coming back because I got to make sure that we had this talk about this money and what I got to do to get my 90-day life right. So thank you, Social Master. Again, the links will be in the description below. Everything you need to know to hit up our boy Chris Hardy will be in the description below. And then I'll put something about my travel agent too. But don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it, y'all. I got y'all.
But hey, guys, we thank y'all. We'll see y'all next week. All right, y'all.
All right,
y'all.
Bye.
35.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
No, that was
Amazing.
dope.
Thank you so much for